So you have to put this into the actual like reality, or like they're not going to get it. Whether I promise torture, okay? And what I've been trying to remind people, like one thing David Maggie's got right. This is limitation. We come from power. This is limitation. We're not here worrying about throwing our weight around. When we highlight ankle biting, we're just like, yes, we'll remind you ankle biting. So like all this stuff, like this targeting, like, oh, we just weren't aware of it. For me, it was posed as living souls. That's how they got away with it. Targeters were posing as living souls with unauthorized perpetual access, us having no idea how that could be possible with the limited paradigms they taught us in their schools, which Rockefeller said, schools aren't for education, they're for workers. So we're sending our children to these buildings, going through hoops and just hoops and needles, goddamn fucking, like getting them up, get them walk in the cold, putting them in danger with goddamn school bus drivers on drugs and whatnot, just to be trained to be robots. Born into theoretical ownership. So when I say the U.S. government has no jurisdiction on Turtle Island, and I'm not going to use their corporational terminology because the United States of America does not exist. It has no right. It was not invited. Do you understand? I'm not throwing weight around. I'm reminding. No government has jurisdiction anywhere. Government means mind control. So obviously all mind control is gone. I'm not being prophetic. I'm not doing nothing but stating all I've ever done to state the obvious. So my little Caucasian bosses I keep bumping into in the Industrial Revolution, stop taking it personal, idiots. I'm stating the obvious. The Industrial Revolution has only gotten more fragile and fragile, with our very survival dependent on delicate systems that are too fragile. Like me, I moved in my camper. It's cold as shit. I couldn't even sleep my first night there because I tripped something that I thought was merely a fuse. I moved the fuse around, and no, it was it's a GFIC outlet. God, if it wasn't for my neighbor, I never would figure it out. I would have to call an electrician. And do you understand what I'm getting at? Why can't a human fucking think? So all these little petty obviously I invaded male Caucasianism. Duh! Does it look like I invaded male Caucasianism? Of course, obviously. It don't matter how many times I was a female or not. Obviously, I'm an old soul. Obviously, I would have been a woman at least one time. What idiot? If you had several times incarnate, why wouldn't you be a woman? Not a woman now. Cocked and loaded. I don't know how to say it. And you go but the thing is, then China Talk has the authority, they're going to throw their weight around and throw something. You can't step on this gender neutrality shit. Oh, China Talk's all over that shit. Yet when I download the app, I heard cock in the first 2 minutes. Just some dude wouldn't shut up saying the word, and I get nothing but ass shaking, until I put some information into the algorithm and phone cloning. But into the algorithm, at the least, I was getting nothing but what China Talk thinks it can ban, delete your videos says is harassment and breaking community guidelines. You broke community guidelines, China Talk, when I downloaded your app. Immediately, you broke your own community guidelines. The Industrial Revolution is based on standardization, especially here in the South. That's been long thrown out the window. It's by the seat of your fucking pants. As I come again to my Caucasian boss who didn't know how to pull out 3 times before high school. When I come down, go to New Albany down there, it's like my boss had 3 kids before he graduated. So he's just saying yes. The shit just rolls down the hill because he don't know how to pull out. Or just stop having sex before you graduate, or whatever. Do you understand? God bless. And this is a Caucasian, yeah. So I'm not picking her. So the thing is, when I just, so I knew nothing about, I would say my people, or my grandmother's people, until this month I got on TikTok, till right before November, the Heritage Month, that I got on TikTok, I knew almost nothing. I had been living on a landmass I knew absolutely nothing about. And the horse, and I just cannot believe what I'm hearing. Just last night, heard about Thanksgiving was burning children and women alive and smelling it for miles. But what did I hear last weekend? That 1 out of 3 indigenous women are raped. 1 out of 3 indigenous women are raped. Immediately, love does not exist. Immediately. It's like, yeah, all this shit going on. Yeah, 25 to 35,000 children ending the grueling process, starvation a day. Yes, that's unbearable. I tried. Did I not try? And what did the religion do? Nothing. The religion says, like, throw your bread upon the waters and you'll receive more in this lifetime and the next. Nothing. Got broker. Reptilian lies. As again, we try to remind you, demons, reptilians, jinn, whatever, gave you these religions. That's why they're obsessed with forgiveness. Motherfucker, we are the forgiveness. How many times are we going to incarnate in forgiveness? It's over with. At least for me. Forgiveness is a necessity of a predator. Predators need forgiveness. Those that do right do not need forgiveness. We make beautiful mistakes. Drugs and all this stuff are beautiful mistakes. I never did meth for 1 second and thought about stealing anything. Who the fuck would take meth and think about stealing? I don't know what these others are. So I guess the karmic female that always claimed you were stealing all the time, no matter how much good information she gave me, it's like, oh, it's okay to lose your eye. Can you imagine a male, female, a motherfucker with 2 eyes saying, oh, I guess, well, since I gotta have your money while I'm waiting on my vampire handler to get out of jail, it must not be time to heal your eye. Since you're only down to 1 and you'll be a burden to society if you do not get, if that 1 eye goes, you'll be literally blind. It must not be time. Do you understand? So no matter how much these people help me, it's like they give themselves away in the end. As I say, the male liar, the male karmic, how I know he reeked indigenousness was not just his features. He cannot process alcohol for shit. That means he's highly, highly indigenous. Just the biggest goddamn seeping vagina you can imagine. Blamed women for all. It could not blame women enough for his predicament. Disgusting. Complained about child support. Can you imagine how stupid a motherfucker's got to be to come to me and complain about child support? You don't come to me and complain about child support. You just gave yourself away. And this was years ago, Micah, as I tried to warn you. You don't know him, but you would not listen. So you played like either like he was my shadow, he was actually my physical shadow, or we were taking down a predator by the way you changed personalities when he walked in the door. We have no problems whatsoever. He walked in the door, immediately changed that bitter goddamn person I first met. And I thought, well, then she must be hiding, she must be, hiding from him. And she understands he is a vampire and he's got to be taken down. So you had make up your mind, Micah. You wouldn't make up your mind, but you're an ankle biter, as Dave Maggi would say. You're an ankle biter. We're not worried about the ankle biting. We're just reminded, oh, we noticed the ankle biting and now we know why and we know how you got away with it. That's all we're saying.